So this Stackelberg's duopoly model is in continuation of the non-collusive category of oligopoly models. Henrik von Stackelberg, 1934, his writing was in German and it was translated to English in 1952 by A.T. Peacock under the title The Theory of the Market Economy. Much later, after about 80 years, the same was rewritten by Brian Burke and Hill, but with a different title, Market Structure and Equilibrium. Stackelberg is known for his contribution to the idea of introducing the human element of leadership into the price output determination under oligopoly structures. He is also known for generating the idea of game theory and also studies in industrial organization. When we study firms, there are three possible configurations that are possible in these duopoly firms. First one is when both the firms behave as followers, which is the case of Cournot. The second case is one of the firm is a leader and the other is a follower, which is what we understand as Stackelberg's duopoly. And the third case is when both the firm decides to be leaders and they decide their output independently, and sure enough, that conflict is bound to rise between the two firms. Stackelberg's the second idea is a path-breaking study on the use of leadership in determining price and output for firms. Let's see what are the assumptions of Stackelberg. Assumptions are simple here. Both the two firms is essentially a duopoly model. So two firms and homogeneous goods, and both firms have same demand and cost conditions. Also, it is a non-cooperative game, which means that firms don't negotiate or cooperate with each other, and they make sequential decisions, unlike the Cournot model where the decisions made are simultaneous. It is a static model in the sense that the behavior of the two firms is studied in a given period of time and not shown how the firms will behave in the next step. So firms are also aware of their interdependence of each other. Essentially, the Stackelberg model is an extension of the Cournot model where output is taken as an important variable. Now, let's use this word first mover advantage. Of the two firms, one of the firm is sophisticated and it turns out to be the leader firm. Here, this leader firm moves before the rival firm takes a decision. So, in this particular case, A becomes the leader firm and B is the rival. This leadership position can give advantage to the leader firm, or it could also give some kind of a disadvantage because he takes the risk of deciding the output. Firm A in this particular case is a leader and he determines the reaction curve of his rival and incorporates the decision of the rival's reaction curve into his own model. Once he is able to understand what the firm B is likely to act as, then he takes his action as a monopolist. So he has incorporated the possible behavior of firm B, decides the output, then goes ahead as a monopolist. Firm B, what is the position of firm B? Firm B must observe the decision of firm A. And after observing the decision of firm A, firm B must decide his quantity, and this quantity that firm B decides is thus a function of the quantity decided by firm A. Now, if this does not happen, if firm A does not, if firm B does not observe firm A and does not respond to firm A's output, then it will go back to the Cournot model where the firms are taking independent decision. Here the second firm is taking a decision based on the action of the firm A. So once the two quantities are set by both the firms, price is set in the market and the market gets cleared. So total production is will be greater than the Cournot model and the prices will be lower, and firm A is definitely better off than firm B. So this leader following market outcome corresponds to the possible stable situation. This is the essence of the theory. So in the Stackelberg theory, we can take the essence of it this way, that if among the two duopoly firms, if one is a leader and the other is a follower in terms of settling the output, it is possible for the market to reach stable equilibrium. And essentially, it is a mental process because the two firms are not negotiating each other. It is just by observation of the behavior of the firms. And during this period, the tools of game theoretic models had not yet developed. So it is not a theory of game theoretic character. It is also a non-collusive model because it falls without negotiation, firms are able to do. This statement gives an idea about the Stackelberg's situation. One duopolist strives towards a position of independence when the second favors a position of dependence. So A is independent, B is dependent. Hence, it is in the interest of each of the duopolists to simply do what the other would like. So the second duopolist would not like to disturb what A has already decided. A real equilibrium thus occurs since everyone immediately reorients. That is, here there are two. The two firms reorientates his behavior to what offers him the greatest possible profit. And no one has an interest to modify the actual price formation structure. So price formation structure is based on the output. So both the firms are not interested in changing that price formation structure. So we refer to this duopoly scenario as asymmetric duopoly because there is a lack of information between the two of them regarding the way the decisions are being taken. Now, how do we explain this leadership position in the Stackelberg's theory? So what we do here is we use the reaction curves, which was shown to you in detail in an earlier video. So it will be a good idea here once again to tell you that the video on on reaction curve should be watched to understand how we are using it in this particular lesson. So firm A is the sophisticated oligopolist. The word sophisticated means he is able to understand things better than the other and takes the decision. And he assumes that his rival will act on its own reaction curve. So firm A will choose its own level of output, and this level of output will give him the maximum amount of profit, and he will also act as a monopolist. So the point at which he will operate is the lowest possible isoprofit curve of firm A, and the firm A can achieve the given reaction curve of firm B. Let us see this diagram. On the vertical axis we have firm B, and on the horizontal axis we have firm A. The outputs are shown on the vertical and the horizontal axis of both firm A and B. We also have the reaction curve of both the firms. The blue line is a reaction curve of firm A and the red line is a reaction curve of firm B. Now, let us see what firm A as a leader does. As a leader, firm A decides to produce at OXA. When he is producing at OXA, his isoprofit curve, the lowest isoprofit curve, is tangent to the reaction curve of firm B. The point of equilibrium is at point A, and that is the output firm B, A will decide. O XA is the output that firm A will decide. How will the firm B respond when firm A has decided OXA as output? Firm A is just the firm B is just the follower. So what firm B will do now is, since the equilibrium point has been reached at point A, firm B will produce OXB unit of output. The distance OXB is the output that firm B will produce, and firm A will produce OXA. From the diagram itself, we can see that the isoprofit curve of firm A is very close to its axis, and it is greater than the equilibrium point of Cournot at point E. But for firm B, the output is only OXB, and it is far away from its axis, and this quantity XB is also lower than the Cournot equilibrium level. So firm A gets the reward of being the first mover or the sophisticated firm, because it is able to have more quantity and sell more when compared to that of firm B. And the naive follower, which is firm B, is definitely worse off than firm A. Now, let's change the situation. Let's put firm B as the leader. Now, when firm B becomes the leader, we can see that firm B's isoprofit curve is tangent to A's reaction curve at point B. So at point B, what does the firm B do? What is the quantity of output? That quantity of output which firm B can produce at that isoprofit curve on A's reaction curve is OXB1. So OXB1 is the quantity of output that firm B can produce, and the equilibrium point is at B. Now firm A, in this particular example, firm A is the follower. What could firm A produce? How much can the firm A produce? Obviously, since the first mover is firm B, A has to be the follower, and A will produce output as OXA dash. So firm B will produce OXB dash as its output. Firm A will produce OXA dash as its output. We can see very clearly in this example, in this diagram, that firm A is the follower and it is producing lesser than the Cournot's equilibrium for it, whereas firm B is producing more than the Cournot's output, in which case the firm B as a leader is better off and firm A is worse off in this given situation. So using both the situation, it is very easily understood that the closer to the axis, more profit, and more as there is more output. Away from the axis, lesser output and therefore lesser profit. Now, what happens if both the firms are sophisticated? That means if both the firm wants to be leaders, then what will be the consequence? In this case, the markets will become unstable, and both the firms will be constantly trying to observe what the other firm is doing, keeping in mind what is the profit and the output of the other. This is what is the condition of Stackelberg's equilibrium. This is also the idea that gives rise to the collusive oligopoly, where the two firms are actually going to lose out when both the firms want to be leaders. Now, when both the firms are leaders, they find that in course of time, both of them will lose out. And it is possible that after some time that both the firms can abandon their naive position and move closer or to the Edgeworth's contract curve. So both get higher profits if they join together, if they coordinate with each other and go and work on the Edgeworth contract curve. Now, if both in the final equilibrium condition is when they are on the Edgeworth curve And when they're on the Edgeworth curve, the industry profit also will be at the maximum. As far as Edgeworth curve is concerned, it will do good to read Edgeworth curve in any of the microeconomics books, especially when we are talking about exchange that takes place between two individuals or two groups of individuals. So at the end of the story, either one of them surrenders and becomes a follower, or both can join together and reach a state of collusion. So this idea that if both are leaders, then it is loss for both, led to the idea of collusion. So firms now understand that both trying to be leaders does not do good for either of them, and therefore they need to collude or negotiate their positions. This leads us to the collusive category of oligopoly models. So essentially, Stackelberg's theory is that one is a leader and one is a follower. The leader gets the profit because his output will be greater than the Cournot output, and the follower will produce less than the Cournot output, and therefore he will be worse off than Fermi. This is the essence of the Stackelberg's theorem. Now it appears to be very simple, but then the implications of this theory, this model, is very huge. One of them is that the naive behavior of firms, like what we saw in the Kurno model, does not pay in real life. The real life firms must recognize mutual interdependence. Only when firms recognize mutual interdependence can they benefit from both the firms be working together. So if firms recognize their independence, they need to worry about each other, and they need to worry about each other's profits and also reaction. But if they ignore each other, then both the firms are in a worse off situation. So it is better for both the firms to bargain and reach a collusive agreement. That is why we see the collusive set of theories. But there are problems that can arise for the follower firm. It is not as simple as that firm A will indicate all of what it is doing to firm B. Firm B may miss out some quantity that A may not reveal to firm B. For example, the sophisticated firm could even bluff the rival by producing a larger output. So he may hide a quantity of output from firm A, from B, and then the firm B might produce lesser than what it should actually produce. So it can in some way mislead the rival, and therefore the rival can even produce less than the Cournot equilibrium. So, however, the lesson is that it is an important element in economic literature, leading to the study of to the study of collusive models. So, the lesson is the importance of accurate market data is necessary to develop accurate strategy for a firm, which is one of the biggest reason why oligopoly firms work in a very secretive manner, because if the data is correctly given, then both the firms will know what each other is producing. But in real life, the data is rarely available, and that is where sometimes there is a government intervention requesting firms or ordering firms to give the data of their output. So this is how the leader firm and the follower firm's market experience can be. And just to conclude the Stackelberg's theorem, we can have these kind of possible outcomes from Stackelberg's understanding. Firm A can be the leader and be the follower, or firm B can be the leader and A can be the follower. In which case, the Stackelberg equilibrium is reached and there is a determinate solution. The second situation is both of them want to be the leader. If both the firms want to be leader, then there will be disequilibrium in the market. And the other situation is both of them want to be followers. That means they are taking independent decisions, but they are taking simultaneous decision, in which case they are not observing the behavior of one and taking the action, in which case both of them they come under the Cournot's equilibrium. So the question also emerges in real life: how do these leaders emerge in certain kinds of oligopoly market situation. There could be several reasons or several situations that can give rise to leadership. It could be because of historical precedents. It could be because of size. It could be because of reputation of the firm. It could be because of innovation, or it could be about information that is available, and many more conditions that can give one firm the advantageous position of being the leader. Nevertheless, Stackelberg's theory initiated the idea of collusive oligopoly, of using the human element of leadership in firms and output making, and thirdly, also to show how the follower and the leader can reach a determinate solution in oligopoly models. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sure that you're finding these videos useful, and I have given the source from where I have used the diagram so that you can go back to the textbook and study in greater detail. So do like the video, then share it with your friends and subscribe it in case you have not subscribed as yet. Thank you.